And I think also, I think there were several things that contributed to this. When I came to Wisconsin in 1972, the university was the second largest expenditure of state government. The university got a lot more money than the K-12 schools got for supporting schools. And so I think over time, one thing that happened is as teachers in the K-12 schools organized, they did a better job. They got more money from the state legislature in most states than the university got. And the university wasn't as organized. The faculty in particular didn't belong to a union and didn't join an organization. So they didn't have as effective an organization to help them get money out of the state government. That was one thing. I think also that the university's cost increases went up at a more rapid rate now in the last 10 or 20 years than it did before. So I think that the cost of college became relatively higher and higher. I'm not making a comment whether it's good or not, or whether it was more than it should have been. I just think that contributed to it. And Wisconsin has always had, ever since I've been here, they've had a larger college system, frankly, than was needed to educate students from the public school and private schools who come from Wisconsin and go to college. And probably they had a capacity that was at least 25% higher than was needed to have college students in Wisconsin have an opportunity to go to a public college. So when I came here, the university would have been the second largest expenditure of the state government behind health and social services and behind aids to cities, towns, counties, shared revenue. And when I left 20 years later, in 1992, the public schools got about 6 or 7 times as much money in the aggregate from the state government as the university did. So the university really got, over that period of time, the university moved down as a priority for state expenditures. So that public schools, the K-12 schools, were a much higher priority on the part of the state government than the university was. And the university, frankly, used to bitch about it. They tried to get the legislature to give them more money. And they'd never they wouldn't directly come out and want the money to go to the colleges versus the public schools. But it didn't bother them to be making that the colleges needed more money. And they got in the squeeze play between the prisons when putting more and more people into prisons was an issue. Then you had cities, towns, counties, and villages that were competitors.